Well, hello, and welcome everyone. Welcome to another Mikey Live program. I am your host, Mikey Hutchinson, and we are coming to you live from the Spice Isle of the Caribbean, Grenada. We tell you things that are happening here in Grenada, things that are happening in Trinidad and Tobago, other parts of the world. These days we have a specific interest with a lot of things that are happening here because there's just so much happening. So we have very little time to focus on the external. All right, we want to say hello to those of you who are viewing the program for the first time. I don't know what took you so long, but for those of you who are always here, I'd like to say thank you very much for being loyal, yes, to the program. Not that you need to be, but of course, when you are, we must say thank you for that. Now, folks, we have a lot of things to talk about. Before we go further, we'd like to encourage you to share the program, share the business, as we say, so that once you share the business, other people can get to see that we are live. What's making the headlines? Prime Minister hints at need to get tougher with the enforcement of the COVID-19 protocols. We're going to talk about that. And Shenia Mc Intosh is a 14-year-old girl who has gone missing, and her family and the police would like your help in finding her. The Ministry of Health increased COVID-19 hotline capacity. We'll talk about that as well. Alert raised for 2 Eastern Caribbean volcanoes showing signs of life. And Sandals founder and owner Butch Stewart has died. We have that and more to tell you about when we return on tonight's Mikey Live program. We'll talk about the COVID-19 hotline, yes, that people have been complaining a lot about. We'll talk about that 14-day quarantine or isolation period that is necessary for persons who have arrived in Grenada. That was spoken about at length at today's press conference held by the Ministry of Health. Now, folks, we're going to come back with more. And I got to let you know that the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of the Communal Cooperative Credit Union, the Housing Authority of Grenada, Digicel, Nawasa. We want to say thank you to the guys at Nawasa Leaks Detergents as well, and the Ministry of Health. We want to say thank you for coming aboard as well. So, folks, when we come back, it could be real news in all Lolo. We are out thing to tell all about, man. You know what I mean? And they say sometimes if you don't hear about it on Mikey Life, maybe it never happened or it's not relevant. Anyway, lately that talk me. So, folks, we are coming back in a moment. All right, please go ahead and share the business.
Hey, man. Well, man, that's you making us that trip. Why doing all this more?
Things tight since COVID, you know. And Christmas coming, the toys to build, and my house and my car to repair. The wife go and chill with and what you want me to do?
I'm expected to do all that with more.
Well, what you want me to do?
Why don't go down my communal? You don't have to pay them until January. They have 20,000 in giveaway giving away, and the interest rate low.
And listen to me, I try them orders and them people good who they want them on.
Well, watch. Like you have more than your ears. Choose your loan at communal, giving you the money for what you want to do. It's a loan for you.
You know what? I'll give them a little try.
Listen. Where you going down this month? Don't need it. Leave the month, man. When you go down there, the rates low. Low.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Free delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, easy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex or give them a call 440-1015 or 440-1016 or check out their website hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
Feel good facts.
Avoid the most common causes of spreading the flu. Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue, dispose of it straight away, and either wash your hands or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
Are you prepared for the hurricane season? Do you have a plan? Remember, water is essential in any emergency plan. Determine your family's water needs. Ensure your storage containers are food grade and store at minimum 35 gallons of water per person per day for at least 1 week. Understand that your planning may be different this year because of the need to protect yourself and others from COVID-19. Take the necessary actions to ensure that your household has an adequate stored water supply should there be an interruption. Be prepared. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
If your whites aren't looking whiter and brighter,
Just give them licks.
if your clothes isn't feeling soft and smelling fresh and scented all day,
Give them licks.
if your dishwashing liquid doesn't smell like lemon, protects your hands with vitamin E, and gets rid of that stubborn grease,
Just give them licks.
just now. So that old smell, stain, grease mark, and dust still on your floor,
Power. Licks for them.
if your toilet still has those stains and dirt marks,
Licks.
so the color's fading and the stains still in your clothes, huh?
Licks. Licks. Licks.
Your product's giving you licks.
Then choose Licks from Walker Enterprises. Also available at all leading supermarkets.
All right, family, and we'd like to again officially welcome you back to tonight's program. Thank you very much. My name is Mikey Hutchinson. And folks, let's talk about what's making the headlines, well, actually for the news for tonight. Now, the Traffic Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force wishes to advise the general public that the theoretical driving exams are scheduled for Tuesday, 5th January at the Grenada Trade Center has been cancelled. All right, this decision has been taken to allow for the compliance with the existing public health regulations. Now, the Traffic Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force apologizes for the inconvenience that was caused. All right, and they want to give the full assurance that the exam would be undertaken as soon as conditions become favorable as far as the regulations will permit. So that was supposed to take place today. And of course, I know that there are some persons who are wondering what was going on and what is going to happen. And so that's what the police is saying, all right? They need to comply with the regulations and so on. And as soon as they're able to do that, then you will be advised accordingly. Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Dr. Mitchell, has identified a need to get tougher with the enforcement of the COVID-19 protocols. Dr. Mitchell's comment comes against the backdrop of persons and businesses not fully implementing or complying with the recommended protocols. Now, during his interview on the televised program, which is also shown on our page Perspective, Dr. Mitchell said, and I quote, "We have to be tougher in a general sense going forward, but we need everybody on board in dealing with this. The Prime Minister spoke specifically about facilities providing quarantine for returning nationals and visitors, some of which he said did not operate as agreed, thereby creating potential risks for persons. He said, quote, "The problem of compliance extended to several quarantine facilities where persons did not demonstrate the anticipated level of responsibility, forcing government in some instances to issue warnings." And so Dr. Mitchell acknowledged that some have advocated for a full lockdown when the recent cluster was detected, but lockdown, he explained, has its own repercussions. He said, quote, "One has to be extremely careful when you talk about limiting people's basic freedom and rights. You must have overriding reasons to do so." All right, I believe he says we were doing responsibly okay, reasonably okay, and did not see the need to create other serious problems that could emanate from the lockdown. We've posted an entire thing on that on our page. You can check it out, MikeyLive.com. Well, not our page, but our website. Okay. Now, officials of the Ministry of Health and those of the Social Development, they met with the family of the man who died from the coronavirus here in Grenada. All right. So those ministries, they presented themselves to the family. All right. They say they wanted to express condolence on behalf of the Grenadian government and the people of Grenada. Additionally, the Ministry of Health is moving ahead, they say, with contact tracing efforts, and has so far determined that 27 persons were potentially exposed to the latest case. Now, as we were telling you yesterday, they say that all of the persons who they identified through the contact tracing have been tested, and they are awaiting their results. Now, folks, there's a young lady that has gone missing, a young girl. And the family and the police, they would like your help in locating her. They are seeking your assistance in locating Shenia Mc Intosh. She's only 14 years old, and according to police, she's of Koshu, St. Andrew. She's from there. And Shenia left her home on January 3rd and has not returned since. She's about 4 feet 5 inches in height, medium build, and dark in complexion. Anyone seen Shenia Mc Intosh or has any information about her whereabouts, you are asked to contact the Grenville Police Station at telephone 442-7224, police emergency at 911. You can also call the police hotline at 444-1958. Or the nearest police station. Now, with the hotline, you can call and you don't have to give too much details. You know, some people just be kind of particular about who they tell things, and, you know, because they don't want to be traced back to the information. Now, you can call the hotline and be assured that no one will be asking you no questions about your identity and so on. You just give your information, and that's it. All right, speaking of hotline boy, the Ministry of Health has been condemned, for want of a better word, for the handling of the COVID-19 hotline. Now, you have many persons who complain that in trying to reach the hotline, they are getting no answers. Now, the Ministry of Health was squeezed about that at today's press conference. In fact, the minister himself, Nicholas Steele, sought to explain what is going on with the hotline and have vouched to strengthen that service to the public.
Every time we strengthen and adjust the hotline, it gets inundated. Most recently, it was over the Christmas, New Year's, with the high amount of persons that had concerns of possibly being exposed to the cluster, the high amount of individuals that had traveled in, the high amount of individuals that were in isolation, as well as individuals who are just calling to request general questions or so. I do expect to have further announcements later on today, if not tomorrow, on further strengthening again that hotline system. This, as we have said from day one, is something that we are adapting to as quickly as possible. The hotline information part of it is one. The hotline reporting of concerns or possible cases or so is of particular importance to us all. So we need to make a separation because there are persons calling. Just consider it like a 911 call then, and I think that's what it appropriately needs to be seen. But there are a significant number of people that are using that 911 to request information. So I'm not blaming them. We have to recognize that there's a need, so people are choosing to use that medium as well. So that's why we continually have to keep strengthening it. It is not that people aren't answering calls. Most definitely not. The ministry's senior personnel as well have been constantly answering calls. It is the level and the quantity of calls that we constantly have to keep upping the amount, and to now have some sort of screening process, further engagement of one of the call centers or so, in order to deal with a pre-screening and then send all of the calls that are actually reporting possible cases or so to the ministry's personnel, and deal with the general calls of just asking for information separately, so that we can, as Ministry of Health, get to speak to the persons who are calling for an emergency.
Thank you very much, Minister Steele. In fact, well, you would have noticed that he says that sometime today or tomorrow he'll be getting information regarding the upgrading of the capacity of the hotline. Well, in the last couple of hours, we've received information that this has been done, and so the hotline should now be able to accommodate more calls. All right, you guys can test it out and let us know. The number for the hotline is 438-4787 or 538-4787. The COVID-19 hotline numbers again are 438-4787 or 538-4787. The other issue that was spoken about at today's press conference was the incubation period of the COVID-19 and the period in which persons are allowed to leave quarantine and what happens next. Those were questions that were put to the panel today, Dr. Sean Charles, the CMO, and Dr. George Mitchell, former CMO, and as well the Minister for Health. In terms of now that we know that after 7 days, when persons are usually released from quarantine, they can still have the virus in the system and still transmit that virus to a third party. Now that we know that, are we going to change our protocols where quarantine and the amount of days is concerned? Now, the Ministry of Health disagrees that anything needs to change there, but went one step further in saying that Grenadians must know, what is required of them. You must know, you must understand that even after you would have been released from quarantine, you still have a responsibility to not transmit and to isolate yourself. He says that, Dr. Sean Charles, the CMO, says that this is a false perception that after you have been cleared from quarantine, that you're free to roam.
The incubation period for COVID-19 is 2 to 14 days. I don't think that there should be an individual on this earth that does not understand that by now. When you are released from quarantine, it does not mean that everything is okay. It means that you have to continue observing the public health measures to ensure that if you do start displaying symptoms later, you are not a danger to the public. Or if you do become sick, you reach out to your healthcare provider. All right, so that you can be taken care of. All right, so if there's a perception that as soon as you are released from state quarantine, everything is good, I can tell you, and I want you to please convey that to your audience, that is a false perception. All right, it's been just about over a year since this disease, this virus has been discovered. No one should be ignorant of the facts of this disease. Just turn on your TV and look and see what is occurring in the world. Educate yourself. Do not look for others to protect you and look after you. You must educate yourself. You cannot scapegoat out of this one, because you will put your family and yourself at risk. So if there's a false perception that as soon as you're released, you're okay, I am telling you today, that is a false perception. You need to continue to take care of yourself.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sean Charles. And monitoring the comments from the chat, I'd ask the simple question. Do you think that the government should consider returning to the 14 days mandatory quarantine? Again, do you think the government of Grenada should consider returning to the 14 days mandatory quarantine? You can leave your your answers in the comment section, yes or no. The Ministry of Health says they have set up a committee to look at the island's first COVID-19 death, because it is important to understand what has happened, and so to put us in a better position to set the direction for the immediate future.
I did announce over the weekend that I have asked for a committee to look into the most recent death, and let me be quite clear on it and the reason and rationale for it. This is the first death that Grenada has had related to COVID-19, and as such I think it is appropriate for us to have a team of individuals look into the entire circumstances, conditions, etc. This goes down on record as the first COVID-19 related death, and I think it's necessary for the team that has provided human service for all of 2020 since this outbreak to avoid what many of us acknowledge as being an inevitability, to avoid as much as possible that inevitability, that they get the support from a team of their peers, as well as some legal support as there, to report back in terms of whether everything was done and confirming that all was done appropriately, to see where things could be strengthened, and to also have communication with the family. This would not be the first family that has to deal with COVID-19, nor the first Grenadian family that has to deal with a COVID-19 death, but it is the first Grenadian family to deal with a COVID-19 death in Grenada. And as such, I think it is appropriate to make sure that all of the levels, as best as possible, of support were there, are there, and continue to be there.
Thank you very much, Minister Steele. Now, we would just like to provide you with an update on the weather, all right, as being made available by Spice Weather and the original source, the Met Office of Grenada. Now, a trough system could introduce a moisture surge into the southern Windward Islands. With reference to this latest satellite imagery, cloudiness and showery activity associated with this system is being produced just to the east of the islands, including Grenada. With guidance from various weather models, this system could stimulate an increase in cloudiness and showery activity on Wednesday and Thursday, with a medium chance of thunder. As a result, there is a low chance of flash flood in low-lying areas and landslides in vulnerable areas on Wednesday and Thursday. Please be guided accordingly. And while we are speaking of the forces of nature, here's this one. Scientists, they are keeping a close watch on two volcanoes in the Eastern Caribbean that have been quite quiet for decades. Lava began oozing out of La Soufriere volcano in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on December 29th. Now, scientists with the Seismic Research Center at the University of the West Indies said that there was no explosive eruption. Instead, the magma reached the surface, all right, and it is forming a growing dome in La Soufriere's crater. The volcano is also releasing gas and steam. The alert level on the north end of the island of St. Vincent, where La Soufriere sits, has been raised to orange, which means an eruption could occur with less than 24 hours notice. However, no evacuations have been ordered, according to the country's National Emergency Management Organization. People living near the volcano could experience strong sulfur smells for several days or weeks, the Seismic Research Center said. The last time La Soufriere erupted in 1979, more than 20,000 people were evacuated. An eruption in 1902 killed 1,565 people. Before that, the last major eruption was in 1812. All right, and about 100 miles to the north, Montpellier, now we're talking about in Martinique, all right, the French island of Martinique also is rumbling. On December 3rd, officials with the Martinique Volcanological and Seismological Observatory advised raising the alert level to yellow after detecting seismic activity under the mountain, according to a news release about that particular matter. All right, an increase in seismic activity since April 2019 and the detection of two tremors on November 8th and 9th led to the observatory to recommend raising the alert level, which the government did. All right, and those are two volcanoes that will be monitored closely. It's been a while since we've heard anything about Kikem Jenny here, which is really good. Kikem Jenny is just sitting down, you know, and minding his own business. I think that most of you have already heard that the man behind the brainchild of the Sandals brand has died. In fact, he passed away last night in the United States. Now, his family says that he's been sick or diagnosed with a particular illness recently, and he died. They said that he wanted to keep his illness or his sickness private, and so probably that is why persons didn't know about it until he eventually passed away. Gordon Butch Stewart. Now, according to hoteliers here, in fact, we had Mr. Jerry Rampaport, who is the president of the Grenada Hotel and Tourism Association, speaking of Mr. Stewart, and he says that he has done wonders for tourism in the Caribbean.
I mean, you know, needless to say, Mr. Stewart was one of the, if not the leading hotelier in the Caribbean. I mean, what he accomplished with the Sandals brand is a testament to itself. You know, he was one of the leaders in the world and definitely in the region. And his, you know, coming into Grenada had a great impact on our island, both in terms of creating jobs, but also in helping to increase our airlift. And, you know, the GHCA were deeply saddened by the loss of Butch, and we want to extend our condolences to his family and also to the Sandals crew here in Grenada, Peter Fraser and everybody else there.
All right, thank you very much, sir. All right, now today, you know, while speaking about our COVID-19 situation, the question was asked to the minister in terms of where what's the update, what's the latest on the Sandals investigation, and well, he had this to say.
My intention was just simply to offer my condolences today on the passing of the founder of Sandals, an individual who has made a tremendous impact, positive impact throughout the region. And my thoughts and prayers go with the family there in their most recent loss. Same way my thoughts and prayers go with the family of the individual who recently passed here in Grenada. And that we respect their time right now and put that aside. We can pick this up at any other point with respect to public statements. But my only public statement right now is going to be offering condolences to the family of Mr. Gordon Butch Stewart.
Thank you very much,
Every
sir.
time.
All right. All right. How are we looking for time? Whoa. I don't know. The time is just flying. What is the next thing that we have to tell all about today, boy? All you hear that piece, right? Iran, we're just going out now, has issued a second arrest warrant for Donald Trump over drone strike that killed top general Qasem Soleimani. And they've asked Interpol for help detaining dozens of others. And these others that we're talking about are U.S. officials. Now, some are very curious about what is going to happen after the President of the United States demits office, given that there are so many people who are waiting for his head legally. You understand? But lately, that piece there, more thing to tell all about now. Major Hype says he is getting death threats following a bitter split with his ex-girlfriend. It has been more than a month now since the world was made aware of the struggles both Major Hype and his estranged wife, Letitia Kirby, were putting each other through. The varying forms of abuse from both sides sent shockwaves through the entire Caribbean and its diaspora, following the release of multiple sex tapes starring Kirby and other men. Accusations of physical abuse and images of Major Hype wearing female underwear. It seems things are once again heating up. The Caribbean comedian took on his Instagram account to alert his over 1 million followers of threats that he has been receiving from someone associated with Kirby. Major Hype wearing female underwear. Yo, that's some kind of kinky stuff. But my mind grew me up that way. Sorry. You know, they say you have to be open to things. No, sir. My sexy will never reach that level. I'm sorry, Dad. No, sir. Not me. Anyway, lady that talk, they say, you know what? You must be more open-minded. You know, people always tell you certain things because your boy is straight, very straight and narrow. All the boys straight and narrow. Nobody get me to do what I don't do. You know, you don't know in between and no gray. Is that I'm doing something or not doing it. They don't miggle. You don't miggle. Yeah, I beat it. So when I tell you, that ish, no, sir. My grandmother would not be very proud of me. I'm sorry. So I'm not doing it. He's not doing it. Oh, God. Anyway, let's get back to the substantive matter. Quote, Major Hype. I'm so tired of all this ish. You understand? And I'm done with the silence. You got your girl back that you never really wanted in the first place. You expletive deleted of my kids and our family. Now I'm hearing about knowing my address and who gonna kill who when they see me. I left New York to get away from the low lives and to give my kids a future. Why the expletive deleted? Y'all keep calling up my name in expletive deleted again. Why the lies and the threats? Y'all not satisfied yet? Major Hype questioned. Listen, leave my expletive deleted kids alone. Go be happy with yourselves. I'm happy for y'all. a very frustrated Major Hype. Then he deleted the post and then he went to live again expressing himself, saying, well, you know what, I'm tired with it. Anyway, lately that talk, the Major Hype. There were talks about him and Kirby being back together, which was not, it doesn't seem to be true. You understand? But you see, some people, they like to take their relationship in the public so much. I ain't saying you can't be proud of your love and thing, you know. But every step all you make, the public must know. Everything that happens. Listen, salt doesn't boast itself, you know. Salt sale, and when you see salt, you know what you get. Why can't you live like that? Why can't, if people see you and your relationship, you know, say, okay, and there's a couple and that's it. Why do you have to always put your things out there? And when you start doing that, just know that when the ish hit the fan, you're going to be ending up in problems. You understand? Listen, you have some people, everything they do, they put it on social media. Everything. I ain't talking about Major and them knowing, just in general. Understand this. When you invite people, because when you post it, you're inviting people into your relationship. With a certain distance, yes, but you're inviting people in your relationship. Just know that when you give them an invitation, you have no control over how much interest they place in your relationship. So when you find you and a person go your separate ways and they ain't giving up and they ain't leaving all you alone, just understand this. You started it. It's not the public business. And guess what? You know what you stir up? When you post pictures and things like that with you and your and things about you and your lover and things like that, let me tell you what you stir up. You're stirring up envy. You're inviting envy in your relationship and silent hatred. Was she playing? Why he playing? And so she hunting him. And so he hunting her. That's what you invite. You understand? And so when things don't work out and the public get to know that, in your head, you and your partner just moving all separate ways. But the public will add salt, sugar, milk, curry, all kind of thing into that story. And before long, it will become something that you didn't even know it was going to become. You're wondering if that's your relationship they're talking about. I'm telling you all you, it's not the public business. If you get a little thing from your partner, keep that to yourself. You understand? If you get a little thing that nice, keep that to yourself. If your man get a little thing that good, keep that to yourself. What you want to go and tell you for your friend to come and go behind you, man? Anyway, lady that talk. I'll go hear about it. I don't come here for that. You know what I mean? Let me take a break. I'm coming back. We have weather, we have national report, and we have other thing to tell all you about. You know what I mean? It's not no seduction Sunday. I'll go find out on all your own. I'm coming back.
Hey, man. Well, man, that's you making us that trip. Why doing all this more?
Things tight since COVID, you know. And Christmas coming, the toys to build, my house and my car to repair. The wife go and chill with and what you want me to do?
I'm expect to do all that with mother.
Well, what you want me to do?
Why don't go down my communal? You don't have to pay them until January. They have 20,000 in giving away, and the interest rate low.
And listen to me, I try them orders and them people good. Who they want them on?
Well, watch, like you have more than your ass. Choose your loan at communal, giving you the money for what you want to do. It's a loan for you.
You know what? I'll get them a little try.
Listen. Where you going on this mud? You don't need it. Leave the mud, man. When you go down there, the rate's low. Low.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform. Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Free delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, they easy?
Yeah.
Boy, line, boy, your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandals complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do three things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
Feel good facts.
Avoid the most common causes of spreading the flu. Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue, dispose of it straight away, and either wash your hands or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
Are you prepared for the hurricane season? Do you have a plan? Remember, water is essential in any emergency plan. Determine your family's water needs. Ensure your storage containers are food grade and store at minimum 35 gallons of water per person per day for at least 1 week. Understand that your planning may be different this year because of the need to protect yourself and others from COVID-19. Take the necessary actions to ensure that your household has an adequate stored water supply should there be an interruption. Be prepared. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
It's showtime at Quartz. Shop today and save up to 30% off on selected Whirlpool cooker. Plus, get a chance to win amazing weekly prizes with purchases of $299 and over. So don't delay. Get what you need now and pay absolutely nothing until 2021.
Showtime. We got it. Just what you need. Yeah, Quartz got it.
Anywhere at any time and have it delivered to you right here in Grenada at yogo.gd.
All right, and folks, what we have for you right now is the national report. Following that, we'll have the weather.
In the wake of the first COVID-19 related death locally, Grenadians have been warned to take the virus seriously. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, January 5th, 2021, I am Rakisha St. Louis. Grenadians are being warned to take the COVID-19 seriously if we are to avoid any more deaths related to the virus. During the first post-cabinet press briefing for 2021, Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles said they have worked hard to prevent this, but Grenada is not immune to the virus. There are more than 84 million confirmed COVID-19 cases globally, and more than 1 million have died. In the Caribbean, as of January 4th, 2021, more than 300,000 cases were confirmed and 5,000 deaths. Dr. Charles made the clarion call for Grenadians to be more serious about COVID to prevent the further spread of the virus.
This is the day that we have been working so hard to prevent. This is the scenario that we have been working hard and educating the public that may occur. Grenada is not immune. We have worked hard to ensure that we remain safe. If we do not take COVID-19 seriously, it may happen again. This is not something that we welcome, but it is an outcome that the world has been dealing with since the start of this pandemic. I am asking the public once again to be serious about COVID-19. Stop the noise. We are not immune. We are not special. If we are not careful, we can have the same scenario repeat over and over again.
Government has appointed a committee which will examine all the details surrounding the first COVID-related death in the country. The committee comprises representatives from the public and private sectors, is chaired by former Chief Medical Officer Dr. George Mitchell. Combined, its members have years of experience in the healthcare industry.
The formation of the committee is principally and primarily to look at mechanisms and ways to ensure that as much as is practical, that we can put systems and mechanisms at play so that we can try and prevent more deaths related to COVID. And in general, I think the issue here is about putting systems in place. And I think the committee that has been announced is well placed to do just that. And when I looked at the cumulative or the amount of experience of the professionals that have been named, if my calculation is right, there's over 185 years of experience in that committee.
The Ministry of Health says healthcare providers will be among the first in Grenada to be vaccinated against COVID-19. Acting Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles says once a decision is made on the type of vaccine Grenada will acquire through collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization and the World Health Organization, frontline workers will be given priority. Grenada has already signed on to the COVAX facility with PAHO and the WHO. Dr. Charles said the expansion of the priority group will depend on the quantity of vaccine the country can obtain.
Our plan addresses which of these vaccines that we have the capacity to deploy right now, and I can tell you at present we do not have the capacity to neither store or deploy the ultra cold chain, the vaccines that require ultra cold chain. That's those that require minus 80 degrees or so. In terms of the priority for vaccination, I believe I touched on that at a previous press conference. where because of our small health workforce, we need to protect them and to ensure that they are up and functioning and keep the system running. So our frontline workers, in particular our healthcare providers, will be our priority group for vaccination. Now, of course, there are persons who have underlying conditions. They are also high up in the priority for vaccination.
Health Minister Honorable Nicholas Steele says Grenada's focus will be on accelerating the process for acquiring the vaccine. He is confident that with the guidance of the WHO, Grenada can bypass all the logistical and health challenges and find the right vaccine.
One of those vaccines has already been certified by WHO. That one, which is the Pfizer-BioNTech, has challenges logistically, not just for us, but for even the very same first world nations that are implementing it. You will see in today's headlines that there are questions in terms of the rate of implementation. It is because it needs what is referred to as extreme cold chain. It has to be kept at minus 72 degrees throughout its process, getting it here as well as storing it here before distribution. So it poses challenges. We haven't ruled that out. We have addressed and looked at what we would need to do to deal with the Pfizer-BioNTech if that is the one that we end up going with. There are other vaccines like the AstraZeneca that do not require that level of cold chain, that level of minus 72, that have a level of storage and temperature-wise that we are accustomed dealing with, that we deal with right now with other vaccines and medications.
Minister Steele emphasized that all travelers arriving in Grenada, whether they were vaccinated overseas, are expected to quarantine at an approved facility on island. This is the National Report. The news will continue after the break.
Are you gonna wear your mask today? You see everywhere you go. There are rules you got to follow, so don't you say COVID-19 will delay. Take the opportunity to save your community. Don't be that guy, put a mask on your face if you're heading outside. It's your life, my life, more lives will be taken if we don't try. If you feel any symptoms, call the hotline. Stay inside until you feel fine. 6 feet away every day. Keep COVID-19 far from away. Keep Grenada safe. Be COVID-19 smart.
Welcome back. China's new ambassador to Grenada, Wei Hongxian, has attributed the new chapter of friendship between both countries to the personal commitment and efforts of their leaders, which have helped to deepen political mutual trust. Presenting his credentials to Governor General Dame Cecile Lagrenade on Tuesday, the new ambassador also hailed the partnership between both countries in the fight against COVID-19. He used the opportunity to assure of his willingness to further the diplomatic relations between Grenada and the People's Republic of China.
We are convinced that building on the existing good foundation, this bilateral relationship will further grow in depth and strength. Your Excellency, I am greatly honored to be appointed Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the People's Republic of China to Grenada, and at the same time humbled by the important responsibilities entrusted to me. During my tenure on this glorious post, I will exert my best efforts to further advance the relations between our two countries and the friendship between our two peoples. I am confident that in carrying out this important mission, I shall receive great support and assistance from Your Excellency and your government.
Governor General Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagranade spoke to the support received from the People's Republic of China that has yielded successful results. These include the National and Athletic Stadium and the Chinese Low-Income Housing Project.
Your country's foreign aid program to developing nations of our region has been steadfast. We assure you that the concessionary loans, grants, technical support, human resource development opportunities, humanitarian and debt relief are greatly appreciated by our government and people. Your Excellency, Grenada will continue to work with the People's Republic of China in the multilateral fora on issues of mutual concern as we work towards deepening the relationship between our two governments and peoples. Your Excellency, Grenada is happy to welcome you, and we look forward to the further strengthening of the relationship between our two countries. Your Excellency, I congratulate you, and I look forward to working with you.
Finally, in the news, employees and self-employed persons who are contributors to the National Insurance Scheme, NIS, can claim for sickness benefits if they have been instructed by the health officials to quarantine or self-isolate. This announcement was made Tuesday by Public Relations Officer of the NIS, Lisa Douglas, during an interview on the GIS Spice Morning Show.
The National Insurance laws makes allowances for persons who are in contact or may deem to be a carrier of an infectious disease where they have to be quarantined, that in that situation they can claim. So in the case of COVID, if you are required to quarantine or you are required to self-isolate, in which case you are not required to see the doctor, you can still claim for a sickness benefit.
A new sickness benefit claim form has been designed specifically for this purpose. It can be downloaded from the NIS website or collected from any NIS office. If applying for the quarantine or self-isolation sickness benefit, employers can certify the sick leave period. Douglas explains what needs to be done when applying.
Ensure that they get the sickness benefit, the new sickness benefit claim form, the COVID-19 sickness benefit claim form. The employee would complete their section and they would get the form to the employer.
Right.
The employer completes their section and they would e-scan and email the form to us, or it can be submitted via our website.
Okay.
Yes, so they have that option. So in those two cases, a medical report from the doctor is not necessary. Now, if it's a case where the person has been diagnosed with COVID-19, in that case,
Then
they
you need
need
a medical
certificate, in which case they would use the old sickness benefit claim form. The one where the doctor is required to complete their section, state your nature of illness, your sick leave period, because in that case, you have been diagnosed with COVID-19.
That story just ended the national report for today, Tuesday, January 5th. Let's recap the top story. In the wake of the first COVID-19 related death locally, Grenadians been warned to take the virus seriously. On behalf of the entire news and production team, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Thank you very much, Rikisha, and the rest of the team at the GIS. The weather, partly cloudy with a few light showers. Tonight's minimum temperature, 23 degrees Celsius. Now that's colder than last night. Last night was 23.5. Now tonight's minimum, 23 degrees Celsius. Winds east-northeasterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour. Seas moderate with waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. And that's your weather report for tonight. And let's pick up a few people on the program. Chef Jilly Bihari, Angel, Michelle, Patsy, Trevelyn, Samantha, how are you doing, Samantha? Michelle, Charlene, Vintress, Noreen, and Rolander, Cynthia, Vintress, Vicky, and Adonna. We see here we have Sherry, Batiste, and we have a couple Michelles on the program. Ezran, Robbie, and Kireen. and Doris, and Joycelyn. Thank you for watching. And Kenny. Hey, Kenny, what's going on, Kenny? We have Ezran and Deborah and Noreen and Lisa and Yvonne. Hi, Yvonne. And did I say Joycelyn? Did I say Spice Girl? Did I say Reginald? Did I say Simone? And who else is with us? Shum. And Irma. How are you? All right. We have more than one Lisa's with us. More than one Veronica's with us. And Suzette, thank you for watching. Allah as well. And Mom and Linton and Joy is with us. So thanks. And I appreciate you guys. We're going to touch base again tomorrow, God's willing. Let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we all say, Ja! No. Have a good everyone. Good night. And we'll touch base tomorrow, God's willing. Take care.